I'm developing locally at the moment. It generally works okay. However, I have a few minor issues. For example, the window size when the page loads. I seem to have a problem with loading it at a smaller size and then the size changes.
It sounds like a front-end issue, possibly related to CSS or JavaScript that's affecting the initial rendering of the page. To diagnose and fix the issue, I'll need to take a look at the relevant code. Could you please point me to the files where the window size and rendering are handled, or should I explore the project to find them?
Please explore. Okay, we reached the... I think this is where it's probably an indication for us to stop.
To give every Plus user a chance to try the model, we're currently dynamically adjusting usage caps for GPT-4 as we learn more about demand and system performance. We're also actively exploring ways for ChatGPT Plus subscribers to use GPT-4 in a less constrained manner. This may be in the form of a new subscription level for higher level GPT-4 usage or something else.
Or something else. Gives me like a timeout, like an hour timeout. First, like my calculation, if it's 50 prompts per 3 hours, which is 180 minutes, it ends up being 1 prompt per 3.6 minutes. And this should really be a sliding time window. So I should be waiting 3-4 minutes at most. So I'm not sure what's up with this thing giving me an hour timeout. Now the other question is, if I move to use a 3.5, question is if within the timeout period it will bring me back to using 4, and based on previous experiment, no, it doesn't. Okay, this is so wrong. It seemed pretty obvious that once I reach the limit of the 50 prompts per 3 hours, even though it doesn't make any sense. How is it being calculated? How are the prompt limit being calculated? How is it reached? Is it using a moving window or not?
I apologize for any confusion. The prompt limit and how it's calculated can vary depending on the specific usage and implementation of the GPT-3 model. As of my last update in September 2021, here's a general explanation of how prompt limits work. Prompt tokens. GPT-3 models have a maximum token limit for input text, which includes both the input prompt and any output generated. Tokens are chunks of text that can be as short as 1 character or as long as 1 word in English. The maximum token limit for GPT-3 models is typically around 4096 tokens. Token count. Every word, space, and punctuation mark in the text consumes tokens. For example, ChatGPT is great. Would be tokenized into 6 tokens. ChatGPT is great. Prompt length. The length of your input prompt affects how many tokens are consumed. If your prompt uses a significant number of tokens, it leaves less room for the model's response. Response tokens. The tokens used in the model's generated response also count toward the token limit. Longer responses leave less room for the input prompt. Total tokens. The total number of tokens in both the input prompt and the generated response must not exceed the model's maximum token limit. Moving window. The token limit is typically a fixed constraint, meaning that you must ensure your input prompt and generated response fit within the limit. There is no moving window mechanism that automatically shifts the limit based on context. Prompt efficiency. To make the most of the token limit, it's essential to craft efficient prompts. Using concise language and minimizing unnecessary words can help you get more meaningful responses within the token limit. It's important to note that the specifics of token limits and usage can vary between different versions of GPT-3 and the platforms or APIs that provide access to it.
Okay, I might finish at that. Yeah, probably were using ChatGPT incorrectly or something. So it keeps giving us timeouts. And probably the prompts are too long. So probably have to have a system where we use GPT-3 to generate the prompts and then feed them into GPT-4 so the prompts are shorter. How does this sound to you?
Using a two-step approach where you use GPT-3 to generate shorter prompts for GPT-4 is a creative solution to handle longer and more complex requests.